I'm Matt with etrailer, and today we're talking about Titan Chains tire chains with twist links on our 2023 Ford F-150. This is going to be on our tire size 245, 70, R17, and this is going to be on the rear axle as what the manual recommends. Now this is going to be able to fit a range of different tire sizes. That's just the one we have today. If you're worried about this fitting on your tires though, you can put in your vehicle's information into our fit guide to find what's going to be the best fit for you. This is going to be a great set of chains if you're looking for something to get you through moderate snow and ice conditions. And the reason why that's going to get you through those conditions is because we're going to have these twist links up top. That's going to give you a little bit of bite to get through that snow and ice. And they're going to be made of a low carbon steel, which isn't as strong as some of our other materials we have on our website. But they're going to be a softer material that's going to be a little bit easier and smoother to drive on. This is also going to be a ladder pattern. That ladder pattern is going to give you more traction when you're stopping or starting. At the bottom, you notice we do have a lever, and this is what you're going to be able to use to tighten your chains onto your tires. Now, it's not a perfect system because sometimes you could have a little bit of slack left over. And that's why a lot of times we recommend rubber tensioners, because that's going to pull some of that slack out. And as you drive, these usually do loosen up a bit because everything settles into place, and it'll help take out more slack as you drive too. These chains are going to come in a set of 2 in this pretty light duty bag. Now these aren't super aggressive chains, so this bag is probably going to last you a decent amount of time. But I always recommend investing in a small tote, because it's going to be a little bit easier to take your chains out of there and store. And with this will eventually degrade with time. A tote's going to last you a lot longer. Overall, this is a pretty simple chain, and if you're just trying to get through those moderate snow and ice conditions, it's going to do you just fine. But if you want something a little bit more extreme, I'd recommend getting some square link chains because they're going to have more bite through ice and snow. Or if you want to go with something more premium, we do have the Koenig chains. A lot of the Koenig chains do have a self-tensioner in the center, so you don't have to worry about them loosening up as you drive. And on top of that, you don't have to get underneath your vehicle to help tighten them on or put them into place. But if you just want something simple because it's going to get the job done, I think it's going to be just fine for you. But if you're curious about how we got them on, just stay tuned and we'll walk you through the process. To start off the installation, I recommend grabbing some gloves. It's going to make it a lot easier. And if you are doing it for the first time, I recommend staying home because you don't want to have to try to figure this out on the side of the road in the middle of a blizzard. What we're looking for is to see if there's any damages to the links. Making sure nothing looks out of place. And we want to make sure this is in the right orientation. Making sure those hooks are facing up. And with that looking good, one more thing I want to make sure of is this lever is the closest to me and furthest away from the tire because it's going to be a lot easier to grab. When that looks good, I can start grabbing my tire chains from the center, lifting up and draping them over. At this point, I like to lift up here so it doesn't drag across the rim, scratch anything up. And I'm just trying to make sure everything's even. When everything's looking pretty even, I'm going to come down to the bottom and arrange these chains where they're a lot easier to grab so I can make my connections on the front and the back. Speaking of making those connections, I'm going to start on the back. I'm going to grab this metal hook and these links hanging off, and I'll make my connection back here. This might take you a few attempts going back and forth. That's because you don't want one side more tight than the other because it's going to give you an uneven fit. The connection on the front is going to be a little bit different. Instead of a hook that clamps onto these links, we're going to push this lever through. Make sure it's pretty tight. Once that's through, we're going to put some pressure on it. Sometimes if you have a link down here, you might have to just slide out of your way. We're just going to apply some pressure. Try to get this link out of here and hook it on. Might be kind of hard to see with my hand in the way, But that's what we're looking for, is this length to go through this opening. After this, I like to give everything a good old pull test, make sure everything's feeling pretty snug. It really is. This is a good fit so far, but I think I could get it a little bit tighter. So I'm going to grab my rubber tensioner. If you don't have one of these, you can find one of these on our website. And we're just going to hook these through these links. What this is going to do is take out a little bit of slack that we have right now. And as you drive, these chains are going to sort of settle into place. And they could loosen up. So what this rubber tensioner is going to do is keep things tight as you drive. I like to put mine on in a star pattern. I like to ensure that this hook is facing away from your tire so it doesn't puncture anything. Once that's done, you can repeat that same process on the other side. After that, I recommend either pulling forward or back some to make sure everything's sitting on here pretty well. And if it is, you can take it wherever you like. That was just a look at the installation and some of the features of our Titan chains with twist links on our 2023 Ford F-150. Thanks for watching.